Hello everyone. I discussed the poem Church Going by Philip Larkin in this video. I hope you find this useful and informative. Let's begin with an introduction to our poet. Philip Larkin is an English poet born in 1922 who used the pseudonym Brunette Coleman. He began his literary contributions as early as in school and continued to do so while working as a librarian. He is not only a poet but also an essayist, novelist, and jazz critic. Some of his notable works are mentioned in this slide. The first three are titles of collection of poems, while the last two are titles of novels. The first collection of poems, The Less Deceived, laid the foundation for Larkin's reputation as one of the prominent figures of 20th century poetry. His last collection, titled High Windows, confirmed him as one of the finest poets in English literary history. He was commonly referred to as England's other poet laureate till his death in 1985. He was the kind of person that shied away from publicity despite his immense popularity. Church Going by Philip Larkin is a thought-provoking poem about religion and history. The speaker in the poem comes to the conclusion that churches should be preserved irrelevant of their significance or lack thereof. The poet describes the emotions of a speaker who is inexplicably drawn to the exploration of churches. The title of this poem is not hyphenated and seems to carry a double meaning. The immediate meaning is going to church as an act of worship. The other meaning is that the church as an institution is going or declining or fading from view. The speaker in the first stanza is observed standing outside the church, and he enters once he is sure that he is not interrupting a service or ceremony. His choice of words indicates his opinion that there is nothing of significance going on in the church these days. Once he enters the building, he allows the door to thud shut behind him and sees the interior of the church. The reference to the altar is given in a very casual manner when he describes it as the holy end, and it shows a lack of reverence. Does one observe an awkward reverence or a trace of mockery as the speaker feels compelled to remove his bicycle clips as he has no hat to take off on entering the church? In the second stanza, the speaker moves forward, looks around, and wonders about the newness of the roof. He is not bothered to know the details. He then steps up to the lectern and reads from the Bible kept on it. As he reads loudly, his voice echoes back at him. He feels as if the echoes snigger at him. Again, his choice of words is questionable. Here endeth could be his symbolic way of saying that the reign of religion is coming end. The speaker turns to leave the church. He then signs the guest book left near the entrance. He donates an Irish sixpence, money that is of no value in England. This act seems to reveal his lack of respect for religion as well as his attitude that donating to the church has no value. He leaves the church reflecting that stopping at the church has been a waste of his time. In the third stanza, he pauses to wonder why he had stopped at the church. He observes that he often does so and has no idea what to look for. He feels as if he is always left at a loss. He little knows what will happen to the churches once people cease to visit. He feels that in the future maybe some of these churches might be turned into museums. Some may provide shelter for the sheep on rainy days, or maybe they'll be avoided as unlucky places. He seems to imply that though the churches seem irrelevant, they will not be forgotten. Stanza 4 seems to convey the message that churches will become places of superstition, visited by doubtful and superstitious women. He believes that they would bring their children for healing, or maybe to perform some superstitious rituals, or to see the dead walking at night. He feels that power of some sort will go on for some time, even if the traditional religious context is lost. However, this superstitious belief also would one day come to an end. Then all that would remain of the church would be its walls, with grass and brambles covering the ruins. In stanza 5, the speaker feels that the shape of the church would become less and less recognizable with the passage of time. A definitely shocking observation by the speaker. He observes that the original purpose of the church will become completely unknown. He wonders who the last believer will be to the church. Would the person be interested as a seeker, or in the architecture, or as the speaker's representative? Would they consider the church as the final remnants of a dead religion? The same line of thought continues in stanza 6. He wonders if the last visitor of the church will be like himself, curious about the place because of its long-standing nature. He cannot help but wonder how this church has survived this long. This was a place that is used to record births and deaths, perform weddings. He refers to the church as special shell or frosty barn. However, he also acknowledges the fact that despite its seeming lack of relevance, he enjoys standing in its silence. The speaker continues in this strain. The tone of disregard for the church and religion is dismissed with the first line of the seventh stanza. He calls the church a serious house on serious earth. It has a true and worthy purpose and must not be made fun of. The church will never become obsolete, as it is a place where all compulsions or impulses of human beings meet. People will continue to return as the functions of the church will be needed over time. A man or woman who has rediscovered something in themselves will take it with them to this ground when they die. So anyone who visits the churchyard may find wisdom from the place where so many dead lie around. The poet concludes that it is important for humanity that churches be maintained as they are. Despite his disbelief and irreverence in the beginning of the poem, towards the end of the poem, the speaker sees the churches as places where people come together and also as a place where one accepts common humanity with the rest of the world. The themes of the poem are mentioned in this slide, as you can see. Obviously, religion, time and death, and a serious hunger that is forever present in every man. The sites that I have referred to are mentioned in this slide, and I am thankful for all the material that was made available for me. And thank you all for your time. I hope you all find this video useful. Bye everyone. Take care and stay safe.